What's happening, Bobcat fans? I'm your host, Morgan Overby, and thanks for tuning in for another episode of the Bobcat Sports Showcase. This week, we've got a little something we like to call the Best Of Show, where we'll take a look at some of our favorite stories and moments of the winter sports season. So grab your popcorn and get comfy. We're kicking things off right now. We're starting things off with an inspirational story about Ohio wrestler Phil Wellington, whose father passed away just before he came to college. Since, Wellington has emerged as one of Ohio's best, learning from the Bobcats' longtime coach Joel Greenlee along the way. Greenlee's not just a coach to Wellington, though, he's a father figure as well.
It was the summer going into college. It was kind of one of those things where it's like a long time coming. I learned that he had cancer in high school, probably about January, and I would just go and see him every day, you know, after school, and just like be with him. And he was very normal in the hospital, so it was hard to think that something was wrong, you know. Well, during summer, I knew that time was, you know, shortening with him, so I tried to spend as much time as possible. And he was a guy that loved to see me excel in life and in my sport. And an opportunity arose to go to Florida to the Disney duels, and I really did not want to go. I just wanted to, you know, spend a good portion of the summer just with him, you know, because I knew that these would be his last days. But I ended up going down to Florida, and as soon as I landed, my mom called and she said, your dad passed. I really didn't want to talk to anyone that day. I was just kind of like in my own little bubble, and it was very depressing. I just said to myself, I'm gonna give it my all and just leave everything out there on the mat, just like my dad would like to see.
Hey, that's all I really want to see every time. We fight as hard as we can. Okay? Let's go, get warmed up.
Greenlee's always sticking up for us on the mat, off the mat. You know, if we got a bad call against us, he's going over and talking to the ref. It's kind of how my dad was. He's always sticking up. He always had my best interest in mind. Well, physically, he's a huge guy, and he's actually really nice. And when the time comes, he knows how to lay down the law and get us in shape. And you know, he knows when to be our coach, when to be our friend, you know, when to be our mentor.
I really think probably like every one of the guys is like one of my kids, and try to do with what I can for each one of them, but feel more so from the standpoint of, man, I really know he wants to be good. I really know he wants to get a degree in engineering. I really know he wants to be successful. And he's such a basically just an all-around good guy. You want to do anything you can for him.
One good shot, one good shot. There you go, Parker. One good shot, one good shot. Attaboy, Train.
Well, prior to coming to college, throughout my life, my dad instilled so many good core values, which was a strong foundation. So when I came to college, Greenlee had something to build off of, you know, not just in wrestling, but in life. You know, like I've learned so many things from him about like what it means to do the right thing when you can, you know, and being courteous to other people, and just striving to be the best you can in life.
From the small town of Peebles, Ohio to being a fan favorite in Athens, Treg Setty's love for the game of basketball has given him more opportunities than he could imagine. From playing home games at the Combo to traveling the country, it's safe to say Setty is living out his childhood dream as a Bobcat. Lucas Widman takes a closer look at how Setty has settled into his second home in Athens.
Feeling stranded as a Saluki at Southern Illinois, forward Treg Setty knew he needed to return to his roots. After his turbulent freshman year, Setty made the decision to return to his family and start over at Ohio.
I made a bad decision in deciding to go to Illinois, which was 6-7 hours away from home, and especially right out of high school, I wasn't really ready for that. So whenever I got there, I had such a bad time dealing with being away from my family, my friends, everyone that I loved. It was hard for me to start a new life because I didn't want to start a new life. I didn't have to. I had a good life back home.
The transition to Ohio gave his parents the opportunity to travel to their son's games, something that was not possible while at SIU.
It's awesome to think that he's just right on Route 32, right up the road from our little hometown of Peebles, and just to get to see him and so close geographically, it's really wonderful. It's great.
So this is just a part of our life, and him being away from us and not being able to attend the games because it was so far away, that now knowing we can be here, wow, it's just a gift. You know, I love to be here.
The atmosphere in the Convo held a special place in Setty's heart and sparked nostalgia when he returned to Athens.
And where I'm from in Peebles, you know, OU is the school where they go play their district tournament. And so growing up when I was a kid, I'd always come to the Convo and watch my uncles and my cousins and everybody play in the district tournament. And I was a little kid up at the top of the Convo, you know, running around and looking down, you know, upon the floor, thinking how big this place is. You know, never thinking in a million years, in, you know, 10 years I'd be here, you know, wearing a uniform playing on this floor.
And if Setty were to follow the path of his family, playing basketball at the next level was a sure bet.
I'm come from a sports background. His mother also did. Her family's very sports-minded, very athletic, and it was just something that we, from the get-go, I mean, that's all I wanted to do was just play ball with him and his older brother Trevor. And we did it every day at home, every time I got a chance to go out in the yard on the ball court. But that's just something we did all the time. It was a 24/7 type of an atmosphere of sports.
Basketball has given Setty the opportunity to break free from the Midwest and experience other parts of the globe.
To be able to say that I've been to Hawaii, to Vegas, to a lot of different places that without the game I wouldn't have been able to be able to say that I did get there, being from such a small town, knowing the little kid that grew up in Peebles, you know, shooting on a rim right outside of his house, dreaming of the day that he could play Division I basketball and play it in front of so many people. Knowing all of that, it's just sometimes I just sit back and think I'm really lucky.
After a bumpy start to his college career, Setty has done a complete 180 while in Athens. His drive and determination quickly earned him a spot on the Bobcats rotation.
His heart is big, and people see that. I think they see inside of him, and they like him, and he gets his just reward, I think, for being a good guy.
I'm proud for him, and I want him just to live the moment and make a memory every day, and he is, and I love it.